He think I'm putting a spell on him. I'm trying to get him to stop doing behaviors that could destroy his career. I get mad at him. I say my prayers or whatever in Egyptian words. He think that I'm actually putting a curse on him. And that has put strain on our way. I want the best for him. I want the best for him more than he wants it for his way. But because Jesus does not approve of me, he thinks that I'm casting away. But Jesus is the goddamn spade. It's the greatest store ever what? And so, how many brought it before? I brought it before. It was magical when I was a kid. You know, we used to go down to Miller Road, and they used to have Santa Claus and the lights, and you could walk past all the fake snow and stuff. It was magical. I really believed it. Until I started talking to somebody like me. And it paid off for them talking to me, because I'm right here still what? Talking about it. Jesus did not exist at all, neither did what? It's real. It's real identity. SERAPIS is made up. Jesus don't exist. When I say that to some people, they be like, they start looking for the lightning bolt. Because the person with the lightning bolt is on a cloud, and if you put G in front of his name, it says the same thing on it. Put G in front of Zeus, what does it say? Think of that Greek stuff again. What happened to the God of the Bible? Did he become Greek? Why is the God of the Bible always coming from me from a Greek reference? How did the God of the Bible not know that the people in the land didn't really call the place Egypt? Think the God of the Bible knew what the people called it? So how in the hell does the PTOLEMY kings put a gag order on God's mouth and make him start speaking Greek? Because it came from there. He can come from no damn heaven, because heaven don't exist. And hell didn't send me to tell you this, because hell don't what? Exist. I ain't saying this to you because I worship the devil. I don't give a fuck about the devil. I don't believe in the devil. I'm just trying to get you to see that Christianity is deserving of being thrown into the what? The trash can. But you're afraid that you might feel that you did something wrong, and you might stick your hand back in that trash can. And who throws something away and then go back and pick it up? Somebody there won't ready to throw it away. And many of our people aren't ready to throw it away. So they still caught up in the game, the God games and the devil games. Afraid to study anything other than Christianity. And then they study something other than Christianity that has to sound similar to what? Christianity.
You made a statement that there's some parts of the Bible that you do agree with and believe in. Is it some of the Old Testament where they talk about Solomon and David?
I don't believe. Well, listen. The Bible has things in it like, "Thou shalt not remove ancient boundary marks." That makes sense, right? Because some ground may be sacred to another people. And because you want to build on it, you might move there. So I agree with stuff like that. But do I agree that Solomon existed? No. Do I believe Jeremiah existed? No. Why? Where's Donald Duck buried at? How is it that all of the characters on that side of that story, you can't find where none of them buried at? Now, can we take those stories and describe human nature? Sure. David, they say that David sent one of his best generals in the war, had him killed so he could sleep with his wife. That's right. Do brothers do stuff like that? Sure they do. So there's stories in the book that you can read to explain real stuff. But does that make the story what? Real. Or make the story true? I can write a scripture right now that involves Mount Rushmore. Does Mount Rushmore exist? Yeah. And would it still exist in some fashion 2,000 years from now? So if I write a story around it and somebody finds that story and they still see Mount Rushmore, they're going to think the rest of the story is what? True. Because Egypt is there. You can go see Egypt is there. You can go look and see Mesopotamia is there. So when they was writing this stuff, they knew to include stuff again that would what? Resonate with you. You can move somebody with a story. Is Captain America real? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Captain America is the U.S. Armed Forces. And they real. So some people take a story, create a character, but it represents something real in society. I can buy that if that's what you're trying to say. But if you're trying to tell me that the Israelites actually existed, I can't buy that.
Even though they say they have the body of Peter underneath the Catholic
the Knights of Templars. Yeah, and they keep followers.
I think it's the head of Peter.
Yeah, they keep the head. You know, that's what they say. But show us the DNA. Because there's a Jew gene, is it? They say it's a such thing as a Jew gene, right? So let's do the DNA test. Why they won't do the DNA test? Why they want to extract the DNA out of the Shroud of Turin and tell us, you know, who's those people? So the whole point is, let's go back to this Solomon thing. There's a scripture where they say that Solomon says that I'm black. How many people familiar with that? They say Solomon says that he's black. And they say that Solomon is saying this to the daughters of Jerusalem. Now I asked the brother, I said, is the daughters of Jerusalem dark-skinned people? He said, yeah, by that time it was dark. You agree with that? You agree with that? They was dark. Now, I'm a dark-skinned being, ain't I? All y'all in here dark-skinned beings, right? Why should I be ashamed to tell y'all I'm black if y'all black? Right. I'm going to say it again. If that's Solomon talking and Solomon is black, and the people of Jerusalem is black, why would he be making a statement like that to black people? It would appear to me that the people that he's talking to in that story is people that have a disdain for dark what? So that would make the daughters of Jerusalem other than what? Dark-skinned people. Then, in the same story, before then, he said, I'm going to go to this man's bed chamber. Why would a man be saying that about another man? He said, I'm going to kiss him in the mouth. Is that a Shunamite woman? Or is that Solomon talking? Because when you read it again, it appears to be a woman talking. Now, if the daughters of Jerusalem were dark-skinned people, and the Shunamite woman can trace her ancestry back to dark-skinned people, why again would dark-skinned person be saying to other black people, do not look down upon me because I'm black? Whoever that is in that picture or that story that's saying that I'm black is talking to a non-black what? People. Septuagint was created by who? Those are non-what? Those not black people. Where's your first synagogue rise up at? In Greece. What is the origins of Christianity? It damn sure ain't an African idea. But they used the latter way, African ideas. And they cooked it, and they mixed it together, and they gave it to the whore. The whore called Christianity. And now that our people have drunk in that concoction, are they corrupt? Are our people corrupt? What did they drink? Islam, Christianity and Judaism. Because the top dog in both of them stories is the Jew. Why we say that? Because Jews don't believe in Jesus Christ. But Christians believe in Jews. Jews don't believe in Muhammad. But Muslims believe in Jewish prophets. Who's at the top of the story? The mother suckers that created it. They ain't no damn Jews. They're Greeks. They're Europeans. Am I right? So now again, is Solomon black? Is the daughters of Jerusalem black? Why would I say to y'all, don't look down upon me because I'm dark-skinned? Because y'all won't believe in Jesus way back then. He ain't had in Solomon's time according to y'all dates, what y'all say existed. So was there a white dominant society at that time that could have made us feel inferior about our dark skin? Not according to your history at that time, did it? So why would a black person have an inferiority complex about being black? But Solomon is talking to the daughters of Jerusalem, you say. So why would he be saying to dark-skinned, melanated people, but the niggas on the corner shout Solomon as well, that the Israelites are what? Because y'all still confused because you mix two different things. What? One black doctrine with a Hellenistic doctrine. What is Christianity other than that? Black doctrines laced with what? Hellenized thought. That's SERAPIS all day. Because y'all already privy to information, y'all made my job pretty easy today. I wish we could have got some more people in here, but where are they? They hanging out with Jesus. Honey eggs, rabbits,
Ham.
yes, pork, and all that. So, without further ado, if anybody, we're going to do an answering question. Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to say something?
I mean, I'm going to say this. It's not that I dispute anything you're saying, but I'm back to, it's, in other words, I think this is good, but there does have to be an atmosphere where truth can be taught without hostility. Now, I don't know if that's a make-believe thought or not, but that's where I'm saying, if that can happen, then that's a good happen.
Agree.
Because see, this is the challenge. People will take offense to it basically because they truly believe it. And too many of them feel it has guided their life to something worthwhile. I'm saying that's, to me, that's the real stumbling block. It ain't what they believe so much. To me.
No,
and I ain't trying to minimize it. I'm just saying, you know, what you gonna do? I mean, in other words, the sister and I were talking earlier, and I know this probably might not have nothing to do with what debates may encounter, but I think that's the biggest challenge anyway. Because for a long time, I know black folk that felt Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad were of the devil. Because they believed in Christianity.
Exactly.
But when, as life moved on, right, and white Christians bombed black babies in black churches.
Right.
Regardless to what, now the idea is if we are Christian, then why are you killing me? And you see what I'm saying? So as those things continued to happen, there became an awakening. Now the bad information is still there, but it's still there because of, like you said, political control. And then the reality is, how much at risk do we become? Teaching the truth. So shouldn't there be some security caution around this teaching?
I agree. And
I mean, those are the things that come to my mind.
Okay,
That's all.
I had this similar conversation this morning with my latest brother. And a lot of people accuse me of this. They say, why you pick on Christians?
Well,
No, listen, I know that's not what you're saying. I'm going to show you something. They say, why do you pick on Muslims? Or shouldn't you talk to them in a better way? Right? I say this. When I first started off in this life, I started off as a Christian. And for years, I heard anti-Egyptian statements coming from Christianity all my life. And I never addressed it. You know why? Because I still had to believe it. Then I went to Islam, and I heard a same regurgitation of this anti-Egypt influence. You all heard it. How many of y'all heard it? Egypt is the house of bondage. Da 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 da. Now, as soon as I get 40 years old, and I attempt to address it, you say I'm picking on you, but what I just learned that you've been picking on Egypt for 40 years of my life. Now you want me to talk nice to you after you have character assassinated my ancestors. It's the same thing if a person in your family was going around telling people you was a pedophile. It was going around just saying bad stuff about you. And you just didn't say nothing about it. 20 years went past. And you decide to address it. Are you picking on them?
No, I mean,
you are beginning to reclaim your what? Integrity. You're going to straighten out the matter. And that's what got to be done today. Because why you still, because I tried the nice talk, remember?
Yeah, all the time.
I'm in a unity. Remember I used to duck debates.
That's right.
They used to try to push me to debate. I wouldn't debate because I was trying to bring people together with all their belief systems. But every time you bring them together, they still pushing it on each other. What do you call that? You call that an ego. You know, an ideology has an ego onto its own self, don't it? So how do you deal with an ego? You hit it with truth. And humble that ass. You understand what I'm saying? And did you know the Israelites, when they first came, and remember Sister Denise, they gave us an explanation as to why they didn't bring no canned foods. And they said they didn't bring no canned foods because the Bible commands them to what? Feed Israelites. I said, damn, I just thought you said in your lecture that all those in the house was Israelites. But we got to jump through the hoop, put on the suit, go out there and shop before I can get a canned food. You see what I'm saying? Yesterday, remember yesterday? They ain't gonna buy because you ain't got no what? You ain't got no beard. You ain't got no beard, I don't have nothing to do with you. This is what they pull out their books.
But that's the problem I see with religion as a whole. As with Christianity, there's certain things of religion that sticks on it. Like, you don't have a beard, I don't have nothing to do with you. A woman cannot wear pants. You have to pray first to marry. These are little things that doesn't make sense that you must do in the forms of Christianity that has always bothered me.
That they made gospel.
Yeah.
Or, how about this one? You haven't got the Holy Ghost yet. You sitting over there by yourself, you feeling all kinds of stuff, but you ain't moving around. But because you don't say, oh, bullshit, bullshit, and flip 3 of these chairs over, then you're not having a spiritual experience. Have that been pushed on you before?
A whole lot of stuff pushed on.
And I tried to tell them. I said, if you understood what my spirit was doing, I'm jumping all over the damn room. But you're looking for me to physically do it.
And then most of the time, when you come with something other than what they're about, and a lot of times what I find when you're on a different path from the organized cats, they're the first ones to get more aggressive, and we always come with love.
Right.
You know, but even, you know, it's always that type of deal. You gonna rock with us, so we don't want to hear what you have to say.
I'm telling you, I used to do it. I used to purposely talk nice to them. I started out talking nice, trying to get all of them together. 5% of all of them, let's come together. As soon as you get them in the room, He gonna throw the Quran at him, he gonna throw the Bible at him, and we're gonna forget all about unity. So then I said, how do I change this? I got to show you that you don't have a monopoly on what?
No.
I throw some of these facts at you, and you go home and research it, it humbles you. And guess what? Then the Israelites come back on the third debate, and they brought what? They brought canned goods. So what happened? What happened in that process of time?
Knock something off.
Some knocked off, and they got the idea. Sure, I ain't got to worship the same God they worship. Sure, I ain't got to say the same thing they say. But you mean to tell me we can't unite together and feed some hungry people? Then if we can do that, we can build a school together. Because when they surrounded Africa, the Israelites actually believed, here's another religious idiotic statement, that they selected Israelites and put, you know how you fish and you just want perch, right? So when you catch something else, you let it go and you just put the perch in the which come. That's how they actually think the white man did, separate an Israelite from another nigga and put him in the book. You actually think they did that?
They put us all on.
But in order to make his connection to the Bible, he'll say that. Then he'll turn around and say that there was no black people, no Israelites, because he will call us black, that they weren't over here before 400 years, that the white man actually brought us over here. That there won't no other people that look like us over here before they brought us over here, because he got to make his prophecy sound well. Now what's a genogram? Go ahead. What's a genogram? You call it Bible, I call it you. Me and him was talking about that yesterday. What's a genogram? A genogram is that what a psychiatrist, somebody do on a child, and they try to find out what you pre-exposed to based on your ancestors. Did they have high blood pressure? Did your mama have high blood pressure? And you can basically determine what's going to come your way. Right? So if I put you in a certain predicament, you call it Bible, but it's really a genogram. And I can set prophecies off of that. Based on the Stockholm Syndrome, I can predict that you're going to be a house nigga. I can predict that if I oppress you, that you will kiss my behind every time I walk out the door. Because you're looking for a favorite position in your what? Oppression. And so I can make certain statements, and I can basically predict your move, write it, put Holy Bible on it, or Holy Quran on it, and you'll say, that's right, that's what the Bible said. And you'll accept it.
And I believe that's my problem right there with the Bible. I'm not sure about the Holy Quran, but with the Holy Bible, the King James Version, supposed to be one of the original versions, how do he decide what should be in the Bible and what shouldn't? There was the book of Thomas, the book of,
right.
What's his name? Jasher, Judah.
And the book of Jasher is mentioned in the Bible, but they don't put it in it.
Exactly. But I say to my brother who is a minister, why can't we look for these scriptures? Why can't we address these? Why can't they be in the Bible? His statement is, well, the Bible says you're not supposed to put nothing in, don't supposed to take nothing out.
Right.
But there's stuff missing.
Right, here we go.
Well, someone's taking out, but I mean, now there's an answer to that question, but I don't want to say that there's a logical answer. I mean, those that study King James, number one of them, in other words, a lot of things parallel. King James was pretty much like Henry VIII. He was a misogynist. He killed wives for wealth. He married for wealth, but he was also a homosexual pedophile. And a lot of this goes back to Greece, like when they talk about Zeus. If you study Greek so-called mythology, Zeus descended on earth as an eagle and captured they claim the most beautiful boy on earth,
right,
called Ganymede, and make him his lover. Now, the problem is, you know, number one, and then we see it again in the priests. Now, when you look at that, and I know I'm jumping around a bit, but the priests, if you study them or do the research, they not only molested altar boys, they molested deaf and blind altar boys.
Diplomacy.
Right. Now, but going back to, it's sad to say this, but this is their zenith of love. a male with a young boy, along with, and bestiality, all those other things, and the rape of women, the domination of women. And now when we go back, like what you said in Egypt, or we go to Africa and also Sudan, where Napoleon trained the guns on the Sphinx to desecrate the nose. But even when you go to like places, what's the name of it? I can't call the name of it right now. But where we had the goddess Nu, the Europeans carved out a prince, carved out a woman, because to them, women as goddesses and women being worshipped and adored by men as lovers was the most insane thing they could witness. And this is where all the bestiality and the inhumane things happened during our enslavement. And another thing that's correct, the authors and the patrons of our enslavement throughout the continent of Africa were these so-called Caucasoid Jews or Greek Jews. Right. The Rothschilds. I'm talking about the ones that go back. But this is my thing. This is what I'm convinced of. I'm not saying everybody has to believe this, but this is what I'm convinced of. This thing has gotten so crazy now. Too many of us, regardless to what we believe, cannot escape the reality. We got loose laws like stand your ground. I got a partner of mine. We've been doing work in the community for years, and I'm gonna close this up because I don't want to go on and on. But there was an issue today where some kind of vigilante standoff because some cracker wanted to graze his cow on government land, and the militia stood with him because, you know, he had been doing it for years and they felt he got it right, and they supposedly stood off government agents. And I say, crap. It ain't nothing but COINTELPRO reinstituted, if you know anything about COINTELPRO. And then it turned out the sheriff was behind it. Well, I rest my case. COINTELPRO. That's how they work through law enforcement. But my point is, they trying to make this image of gunpowder against the government for whatever reason they're doing it, when really the epitome of their guns, is Sandy Hook. The epitome of their guns is Virginia Tech. The epitome of their guns is Columbine. Where their most whacked out youth turn it on their own children. The epitome of their guns perpetrated on us is so-called black-on-black crime. But then again, as I tell my other brothers and sisters, okay, you saying black-on-black crime, what is white-on-white crime? How can there be such a thing as black-on-black crime when white-on-white crime is not a topic of discussion? It's just crime. I say black-on-black crime is the confusion that we see, which is a perpetuation of genocide, where it's self-hate. And it could be jealousy, like my boy say, ego. You got a fine woman, my woman ain't with me, so I'm weak or whatever. And now I'm disrespecting you and your woman, and you got to do something. Because my ignorance, you can't let my ignorance dominate. You know, and I hate to use that as an example, but just to be candid, I'm gonna shut up. But I'm saying that to say, I'm convinced though, and I'm not trying to minimize how we're whacked in our thoughts. I ain't trying to go there like that. But I'm saying, I'm convinced that there's enough reality happening before us to bring us together, right, under a roof of at least protecting our children, right? Yeah, and our women. But our women will help us protect our children and ourselves. And I'm not saying that to say we're weak, but the sister and I just had a conversation because, see, the spirit of, I don't know how many, y'all younger people, this brother may know, she may be familiar with it, but the spirit of Mark Essex lives. You know, in other words, the spirit of Nat Turner lives. The spirit of Queen Azinga lives. You see what I'm saying? All this Wonder Woman stuff, all this stuff you see on TV, That was never no European woman doing that because, unfortunately, she was a cave dweller. You know, but there were our sisters who had that queen warrior status and were conquerors. You know, so it's all those kinds of things, and I'm just saying, once these things become revealed, which they are becoming revealed.
Right.
But I ain't saying that for you, my brother, to say
no.
you got to be so nice about it.
Right.
That's one way I was going with that. But I mean, I'm like this. You got a right to do it however you led to do it. But I think you might have a lot of trouble because a lot of our people still gonna believe in a prime mover. Whether we call that God, whether we call that whoever that is.
You got to get me there. This is what I'm saying.
Right.
I am not saying that there is not a higher power.
Right.
I'm just saying this
You diffusing the
this
Jesus
word
concept
God,
yeah.
Jesus, Allah,
I
Yahweh
know.
has absolutely no bearing on our success in the past,
or the future,
the present,
or the future.
or the
Right.
future.
I'm
You
with
understand that?
I'm with you.
Because the God of Christianity is not a female.
Right. Right. I know what
The God of Christianity will never ever be a female.
That's right.
Nor would it ever make a warrior one.
A
Female, because they promoted white Mary, the damsel in what? Distress. She always falling in the movie. I can't, she's helpless.
Right.
And the pedophilia part, in Islam, they say that Mary was 12 years old when Allah put his spirit in her. So what is Allah? 12 years old. Where is pedophilia coming from?
Right.
What is this attraction for 12-year-old girls coming from?
Yeah. Right. I
But
mean,
you don't want to throw it away. You want me to talk nice to them.
Oh no. Yeah. Right.
You want me to talk nice to men who want to penetrate 12-year-old girls.
Yeah. Right.
You want me to talk nice to them. I can't do it.
I hate to use someone else's information, but I was just listening to Dr. Hagen the other day. And one of the things he addressed was, you know, when we destroy something that someone is holding on to, we got to give them something else. Or else they're going to be lost.
Here we go again. And here we go again.
And I'm not saying...
Here we go again. Here we go again. Whenever I say throw away the Babylon and Quran, you act like you ain't got nothing else. You act like that was the whole world. That's a part of your spell.
Some people don't
Now watch this. Every year birds fly from the and they get in a V, don't they?
Right. Right.
And the first leader bird fly for a little while, then the other one replace it.
That's right.
And they rotate.
That's right.
What is that saying to the niggas? Unite and get informed. You need a book to tell you that? I need a book to tell me not to sleep with my daughter. Now watch this. Nature just promoted unity and oneness, right? His book told him go that way. His book told him go that way. Now the niggas can't get informed.
That's right.
Well, we're back to that reality, though.
Listen to what I'm saying. You got to understand that our people, as I said before, had an understanding of what you're calling this higher power long before.
No question.
And all we got, if we trace back the story, remember I said, you'll find you a what? A story.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't leave you without a what?
No, you
But somewhere in our minds, we think that if we throw away Allah, Jesus, and Yahweh, that we have thrown away the entire universe.
Well,
you're going to make it without Allah.
Not only that.
You're going to make it without Jesus. And you're going to make it without Yahweh. Many people are doing it already.
But the point I'm making is that you're going to make it without that. But some people, that's all they got.
Listen, the babysitters are gone. Garvey, Elijah, all of them, the babysitters are gone. My daddy told me in war, he said they used to do a copy bombing thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? Man said, you move certain amount of court over this direction. I'm going to sit right there and talk to this dude and keep telling him to move when I know that bomb, them bombs going to come in, and what they mean by carpet bombs, sir. It's a square pattern.
Yeah.
And everything in that range is a kill zone.
It's going away.
I'm going to sit right there and beg him to give up Jesus, and I'm going to get carpet bombed too.
Right.
You wait on. I'm not here to the babysitters are gone. Remember, even Elijah said, all those come after me are going to be the executors of those who don't what? Don't follow. So he said, even Elijah had a concept that there's going to come a time where we're not going to keep on holding you by your way.
That's right. Yeah, you're gonna have to move, but I'll say this, with what we're looking at now, because I don't know how people feel in this room, but if we look at what's happening with these noose laws, in New York you got stop and frisk. Now in Florida, Texas, they got that stand your ground footage, and they dealing with it, they enacted it, they use it. But when you put Texas, Florida, and New York together, they don't hold a candlestick to Virginia. Because Virginia trying to get all two of them. They trying to get stop and frisk and stand your ground. I know, in remotely, but it might not be labeled as such, but you're right.
And there came a time when this government here separated itself from God, didn't it?
Oh, right.
Is they still working? To me, we act like we can't make it with our white people's ideals. And if you believe that, stay where you at. Because you're going to get in my way. God had them. It was in the engine room, sabotaging the engine. Because he didn't preach the Christianity that white people preach. But Garvey was a Christian, wasn't he? So why was those other Christians down inside the witch car breaking his pockets? You can make it without Jesus.
Well, if you say it by name, you know what the story is. Now, I need to do more research to verify it.
You can make it without Jesus.
They swear out that
I'm doing perfectly fine with all.
Yeah, but that what you're talking about, they're saying that was a direct the first recruiting of J.F. Gahula's black FBI to sabotage.
They was Christian though.
Yeah,
they still was Christian.
Oh yeah, they did that close. I'm not
pretty sure
but
it was a greater incentive for them to do their job because they felt that they was obeying who?
Yeah.
They
thought they was obeying God. So we got to slow this black chubby little demon down called Marcus Garvey. And after they slow them down and destroy their organization, where they take the people back to? Back to SERAPIS. They just call him Jesus. You know how many brothers I know that left the nation went back to Jesus?
Come on. Yeah.
Because they're afraid of that hell, fire, and brimstone. And if you understood the metaphysical meaning behind the hellfire, you wouldn't even be afraid of that. You say your God is an all-consuming what?
Right.
Then you say the fire going to consume you. You better do what I did with God and the devil. I told them in the fire.
And that's the place.
They have been consumed. I don't believe it.
But that was my point, Brother Shaw. That's the place. If you replace the SERAPIS with the truth behind the SERAPIS,
I just said Osiris is older than the creation of SERAPIS.
right. That's what I'm saying.
So I gave you something to go research to fall on. I didn't just say nothing.
Right.
I just said I don't believe in Jesus. I don't want him.
I hear you.
I'm free.
See.
I didn't just leave the physical plantation. I left the religious plantation. You remember the movie called The Village? I mean, y'all remember The Village? Was it any monsters in the woods for real? It ain't no damn devil down there neither. But you'll stay within that village because you're afraid of the monsters that somebody told you is always in the West. That's why you backed up and forgot that I said go back to Osiris. Because you still somewhere down the line want to hold on to God. God is your problem. Oh, shit, this the right saying that. The Lord told me to be. God is your problem. To believe in God and to believe in the devil is your problem. When your phone go dead, you ever had a car battery go dead on you, right?
Right.
Is it a negative? You looking for your negative and positive charge, ain't it?
Right.
Did you go get a battery? You jump started?
No, I wouldn't do it.
Did you even bring up religion when you was talking about the dead battery? But is your God positive?
No.
Is your devil negative?
No.
So why didn't you say my God and my devil was dead in my battery? Because you know that don't have nothing to do with what charges life. And the charge still there after you throw away God and the devil. But you say, I left you with nothing. That sounds similar to Elijah Muhammad's symbolism when he said some of y'all took the white babies and hid them underneath y'all skirts. You still had them in your head somewhere. You got to take them with you. You even said it. You can have this whole world, just give me who. And in the end, that's all we want. You can't tell me it's making you do it because Lil Wayne got more cars than any of you Christians. How many houses Lil Wayne got? Did Jesus give it to him? Or did the lean give it to him? That serpent and cup.
You said did Jesus get you a who? The lean? Who is
Right.
it?
You ever heard, you know how the Christians try to prove to you that God is real about what they got?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
Right? But they say God gave them the house, but the state still collect taxes every year.
That's right.
Now hold on. Hold on. God gave it to them, but if they don't pay the taxes, the same state that created is going to come take the house.
Exactly.
In the car, too.
In the car.
Ain't even worried about that.
Stop it.
And you ran around the house, throwed up, oil up, and claimed it. The fact that you still paying taxes, you can't have a claim to it.
Right.
Because home ownership in America is an illusion. Because just like Monopoly, when the game over with, I don't care who won it. All the pieces go back in the way. It belongs to the bank. And who got you connected to the state that controls the bank? Jesus. SERAPIS. You still want to hold on to it, though. You still don't want to let him go. I don't care damn about Jesus. Allah or Yahweh, and not afraid to tell anybody that at any time. You know why? Because they kill my people. Those three ruffians that killed the master builder. Hit the master builder in the head and took him on a what? A northwesterly course and buried him in a shallow grave. Who is that other than the Jew, the Christian, and the Muslim? Because they ain't built nothing. And you ain't built nothing since you've been under them. You produce edifice of geometrical and mathematical wonders long before there was anything called a Christian or Muslim or what. You were the master builder. Now which three niggas hit you in the